players post-game were talking about how that game made it feel like it was fun to play football again. What do you think in your play calling kind of allowed that to happen?
Play calling didn't change. Came down to our execution. The guys played really hard, and we were ready to play.
Coach, what was it that just kind of flipped the switch? Was it just the way you guys practiced last week?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, you can't, it's really chess. It's not checkers. You know what I'm saying? And you just wish you go, oh, this is the reason. You know what I mean? So was that one of the reasons? 100%, absolutely. We got the results that we wanted because of the emphasis that we put on practice and the speed of practice, efficiency of practice, and the preparedness of practice. But there's other things that go into those. Those type of. Those type of games and those type of outcomes. So, we're constantly trying to search ourselves and figure out what can we control in the process to make sure that those things don't happen again.
A lot of the recognition went to the guys in the secondary and the linebacking core. Just how much did CJ and Jacob impact the game? I believe Tech had 90 rushing yards before the Hammond scrambles late in the game.
Yeah, I mean, they had less than that, actually. They had it was like 79 or 81 or something, crazy like that. It's just, again, everything starts at the spine of our defense. Those guys inside and the interior just make everything easy for the edges and the posterior of our defense. So, they played unreal all year. I mean, they really have, and save for. For a couple, like a quarter here and a couple quarters there, I mean, we've just been very consistent in terms of just our physicality in the middle of our defense, and, we got to continue to emphasize that.
Brian, you've been around this profession a long time, so when you and Kenny were looking to add someone to your staff at the quarterback's position, Coach, when you guys first got here, what made Brian stand out as a guy that could really come in, be an impactor, multiplier, and really help build this program?
Yeah, I mean, just his recruiting experience and his experience in some of the programs that he's been a part of. So I know Kenny just values him in terms of the inroads that he has in Texas and some of the things that that he does in terms of the relationships that he builds with a lot of the recruiting areas. So and that's the number one thing that our head coach has done. He's put together a staff that has different strengths and different weaknesses, and using and emphasizing those strengths, you know what I'm saying, so we cover up for any weaknesses in any other areas. So I know Brian, covers up for the weaknesses in my area in terms of just how much he's banging the recruiting drum, you know what I mean, because I'm trying to piece together and be, middle management is tough, when you're a coordinator. You get a lot of people coming to you and asking you questions all day, it takes away from something. So, yeah, Coach has done a great job of just assembling a staff full of people with diverse talents and strengths, and covering up anybody that may have deficiencies or weaknesses.
And with this being his first position coach role in his career, how have you seen him really develop this position group over the few years and take charge of it?
Yeah, I mean, D-Walk has been just the biggest asset for him in terms of him just learning the cornerback position in our system. And D-Walk has been a guy that, has coached in our system in the NFL, at the college level. He's been a coordinator at the college level. He's coached, he's been a career corners coach. So I think, I can't take any credit for his development as a coach. I guess what I can take credit for is just him understanding and how important, his position really factors into the rest of the guys on defense. So, those guys doing their 1/11th is just really important, and understanding the how, what, and why we're doing it has really been a team effort and a collaborative effort between him and Coach Walker.
Does the Houston offense remind you of any team that you played earlier this year?
That's a great question. They have wrinkles of air raid in their passing game, so we've seen that. They run a lot of different same run types. They're running the quarterback, they run the G lead and the follow and the crunch follow, which we just saw this past week. We saw some against Utah. They have some. They have a lot of crunch, a lot of duo, trying to run the ball at you. So yeah, there's a bunch. I mean, we've seen those styles, and just every offense that we see, really has their own flavors and what they major in. So. I think that they major in a lot of the things that we've seen this year. Maybe we haven't seen this same type of offense just cumulatively in one game.
Just how great has it been to see Anthony make a couple of big plays this season, knowing all that he's gone through in the last few years?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, a guy that's put his heart and soul into this program and has been through every, type of adversity that being a college student athlete is really going to throw at you, just not only athletically, but, personally. I mean, seeing him and whenever he makes a play, it brings a smile to everybody's face, and it's really a job well done by him.
You guys have been really good on defense all year, but especially at home. You guys haven't even given up, I think, 25 points this entire season at Mountain America Stadium. Is there any kind of difference in your mind in terms of how you've been playing at home?
I think number one, it's the crowd, it's the fans, our student section. Keyshawn alluded to it post game in the press conference, talking about how we like them to start with their backs to our student section. Feeling that energy from them is definitely an advantage for us. And I think I would give them the best credit. I mean, the noise that they make on third down, I think we've been right at 70% at home on third down. We've really excelled on third down at home, and I really it's a testimony to our student section and our fans, and just understanding the ebbs and flows of the game. So, we try to preach to our guys. It doesn't matter where we play, but definitely you can feel the energy at home this year.
Is there anything you feel like you have to take away from this? I know you're probably not going to tell us what you're doing, but anything you have to take away to establish your defensive identity this week?
Yeah, I mean, it's just it really doesn't change. I mean, our identity is we got to stop the run, defend deep shots on mixed downs, and keep the ball in front of us. Tackle, in the open field when people try to attack us on the perimeter, and then get people off the field on third down. And then in the red zone, we got to be excellent, and in the goal line, we got to be perfect. So our philosophy just doesn't change. Just how we tweak it and how we do it each week is gonna maybe not look a whole lot different to the naked eye, but it definitely changes from week to week based on the offense that we're seeing.
Coach, it's felt like Montana has really relished the ramp up in physicality over the last week or so. Just how have you seen him develop over the course of the year?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome, just seeing his development over the last 3 years, and just the fact that, he's played all three positions. And, he ran into that 3-week hiatus this year with that injury that kept him off the field, and he had a little bit of a rough go, as we all did on defense when he came back, and seeing him rebound the way he played too this past week, along with the rest of the defense, just really was a source of pride for all of us coaches, especially those guys that have put in so much to this program and since the time we've been here.
Are you personally worried at all that Jordan Kirk didn't practice today, that he'll be ready to go later in the week?
Yeah, I'm not going to really comment on injuries right now, so yeah, appreciate it. Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.